For years, Call of Duty's annual release has been a blockbuster event, drawing massive crowds and generating a level of excitement few other games could match. Midnight launches, packed stores, and fans eager to get their hands on the latest entry became a tradition in the gaming world. But, on November 14, 2025, Black Ops 7's launch shattered that tradition in the worst way possible. Instead of the usual fanfare, stores were eerily quiet, and the energy that once defined Call of Duty launches was nowhere to be found. The numbers told a grim story. Sales plummeted by a staggering 60% compared to previous entries, both in physical copies and digital downloads. This wasn't just a minor dip, it was a catastrophic drop that sent shockwaves through the industry. On PC, the situation was even more dire. Black Ops 7 posted the lowest launch numbers in franchise history, failing to even reach 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. A milestone that previous games had easily surpassed within hours. Meanwhile, competitors like Battlefield 6 and ARC Raiders surged ahead, capturing the attention of shooter fans everywhere. Even the most loyal Call of Duty players seemed to be looking elsewhere for their multiplayer fix, a sign that the franchise's dominance was slipping. This isn't just a temporary setback, it's a clear sign of deep franchise fatigue and a growing disconnect between Activision and its core audience. Years of similar gameplay, recycled ideas, and a lack of meaningful innovation have finally caught up with the series. Longtime fans who once lined up for midnight releases are now skipping this entry entirely. Many cite the repetitive formula, declining quality, and a sense that the series is no longer listening to its community. Social media and gaming forums are flooded with backlash. Players are voicing the such matter are voicing disappointment louder than ever, sharing stories of frustration and calling out the lack of fresh ideas. The critical response has been just as harsh. Only 67% of critics on OpenCritic recommend the game, a sharp drop from last year's entry, and a clear indicator that the series is losing its luster even among reviewers. The goodwill Call of Duty once enjoyed has eroded, replaced by widespread frustration and a growing sense that the series is running on empty. Players are deleting the game, skipping events, and moving on to other titles. Black Ops 7's disastrous launch may go down in history as the moment the franchise finally lost its grip on the gaming world, a turning point that fans and industry insiders alike will remember for years to come. The message from players is clear and unmistakable: enough is enough. If Call of Duty wants to reclaim its throne, it will need to listen, adapt, and truly innovate, or risk fading into irrelevance. The biggest complaint? Black Ops 7 feels like a recycled product, not a true sequel. Multiplayer, the series' main draw, is criticized as a glorified expansion pack with reused mechanics, assets, and even sound effects. Fans argue the $70 price tag isn't justified when so much content is copy-pasted from previous games. Minor tweaks like skill-based matchmaking and persistent lobbies aren't enough to mask the creative stagnation. The formula hasn't changed, and players are tired of paying for the same experience year after year. The result is a game that feels soulless, built to meet a deadline, not to excite or innovate. For many, Black Ops 7 is proof that the franchise has lost its passion. Even the so-called new content in Black Ops 7 has been widely criticized by the community, with many players calling it lazy, uninspired, and lacking any real creativity. Instead of exciting additions, fans are met with content that feels recycled and unoriginal, leaving longtime supporters disappointed and frustrated. Much of the cosmetic content was created using generative AI, resulting in bizarre, low-quality visuals that fans have dubbed AI slop. These items often feature distorted images and nonsensical designs, making it clear that little human effort or artistic vision was involved in their creation. Activision's decision to rely on AI for content, reportedly as a cost-cutting measure, has sparked outrage. Players argue that this move not only devalues the work of real artists, but also strips the game of its unique identity and soul, making it feel more like a product than a passion project. The multiplayer maps, while visually polished on the surface, are criticized for being formulaic and repetitive. Players are frustrated by the endless parade of three-lane boxes, which offer little tactical depth or variety, making matches feel stale and predictable. Cosmetic skins fare no better. Many are either bland and forgettable, or so outlandish that they clash with the gritty tone the series is known for. This disconnect leaves players feeling unengaged and unmotivated to unlock or use these items. The Battle Pass is overflowing with low-effort cosmetic items, making it obvious that the focus is on quantity over quality. Instead of meaningful rewards, players are bombarded with a flood of forgettable content that adds little value to the overall experience. Rather than enhancing gameplay or offering something memorable, the new content feels like pure filler. Just more evidence that the franchise is creatively adrift and struggling to recapture its former glory. As a result, players are pushing back harder than ever, flooding social media with negative reviews and demanding real, meaningful improvements. The message is clear. Fans want more than just a flood of low-effort cosmetics. They want a game that feels fresh, inspired, and worthy of the Black Ops legacy. The live service model has pushed fans to their breaking point. What was once a beloved series known for its tight gameplay and memorable moments now feels like it's lost its soul. Black Ops 7 is packed with microtransactions, expensive bundles, and a grind-heavy battle pass, making the game feel more like a cash grab than a passion project. Every menu seems to push players toward spending more, with flashy offers and limited-time deals constantly in your face. The in-game store is front and center, while gameplay issues and bugs are left unresolved. Instead of focusing on fixing core problems, the priority seems to be adding new ways to monetize the experience. Chasing Fortnite's success, Call of Duty has lost its identity, replacing gritty realism with flashy skins and endless grinding. The unique atmosphere that once set the series apart is now buried under layers of cosmetics and paywalls. Longtime fans feel alienated, longing for the classic self-contained experience that made the series great. Many remember when unlocking content was about skill, not spending money or grinding through tedious challenges. The live service approach feels predatory, prioritizing engagement metrics over fun. Players are bombarded with pop-ups, confusing progression systems, and constant reminders to buy more. Players are tired of being treated as revenue streams instead of valued fans. The joy of playing is overshadowed by the pressure to spend, leaving many feeling frustrated and ignored. The message is clear. Fans don't want another Fortnite clone. They want Call of Duty back, with its original spirit and focus on gameplay, not just profit. Now, the franchise stands at a crossroads. It must choose between chasing short-term profits or rebuilding the long-term loyalty that made it legendary in the first place. The single-player campaign, once a highlight of Black Ops, is now a major letdown. Critics and fans alike call the story incoherent and uninspired, lacking memorable characters or stakes. Always online requirements and the inability to pause, even in solo play, have infuriated players. No checkpoints mean losing all progress if you disconnect or fail, turning missions into frustrating slogs. Some levels, clearly designed for co-op, feel empty and unbalanced when played alone. Combat has shifted toward bullet-sponge enemies and visible health bars, abandoning the series' signature fast-paced gunplay. The campaign feels like an afterthought, sabotaged by poor design and technical missteps. For single-player fans, Black Ops 7 is a bitter disappointment. Microsoft's $70 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard was supposed to revitalize Call of Duty. Instead, Black Ops 7's failure has cast doubt on the entire deal. Fans hoped Microsoft would fix the franchise, but see only more of the same aggressive monetization, unfinished products, and AI-driven shortcuts. The game's collapse raises questions about whether Microsoft overpaid for a declining asset. Call of Duty, once the crown jewel, now faces plummeting sales and a damaged reputation. Critics wonder if Microsoft can turn things around, or if this will go down as one of gaming's most expensive mistakes. The pressure is on for Microsoft to prove the acquisition wasn't a colossal blunder. The future of both the franchise and the investment hangs in the balance. Black Ops 7's failure is a wake-up call. The old formula no longer works. Fans demand real innovation, not recycled content or endless monetization schemes. The franchise must break the annual release cycle and focus on quality, not quantity. Separating premium Call of Duty from free-to-play Warzone could help each find its own identity. A polished, offline campaign would go a long way toward regaining trust. Developers need to treat fan feedback as a roadmap, not a checklist. Microsoft has the resources to save the series, but only if it prioritizes long-term health over short-term gains. The next move will decide whether Call of Duty can reclaim its legacy or fade into irrelevance.